Hi, this is Gary Hauptli, Bev's brother,
Hi, I'm Jan Hauptli Slate. I'm Bev's sister.
and we would like to dedicate this video to the memory of our beloved sister, Bev Hauptli. Bev came into the world September the 17th, 1955, a welcome addition to the Hauptli family.
Everyone was having kids in the 50s. The Hauptlis were no exception.
Dad loved little kids. Our first house was on Belvedere Avenue Southwest in West Seattle.
Dad loved the climate in the Northwest, especially in the summer.
Both Mom and Dad enjoyed celebrating Christmas.
Grandpa Oscar Hauptli was delighted with Bev.
Birthday celebrations were a special time. Road trips were a lot of fun.
But the best trip of all was going to Orcas Island to go camping.
Orcas was a spectacular place to go camping, not for just one family, but for two, the Lunds. Odd Lund was my dad's World War II buddy.
This was great fun for us kids.
In 1958, we moved to a bigger house, 7 blocks north, in time for Beth's 3rd birthday. 2414 Belvedere Avenue, Southwest.
Much to Bev's delight, the new Orcas tradition continued.
The Lunds were like our relatives. It was always Uncle Odd and Uncle Jack.
Our camping trips were never long enough.
But there were other adventures. The 1962 Seattle World's Fair.
We were so lucky to get to go to the World's Fair as often as we did. Our dad, working at the Seattle Times, got us all press passes.
We had the usual birthday and Christmas celebrations.
We got to take trips to Disneyland and to Yellowstone back when we got to have lots of fun with the bears. Bev's love affair with beagles began in 1963. And Orcas never stopped being a constant. Miss Mutafis lit a fire in Bev's mind and heart for journalism.
Bev's writing on the school's newspaper, the West Seattle Chinook, took off under Miss Moo's direction. Steve Jackson, a.k.a. Raisin, tells the story of Bev's Spokane years.
Just like her beloved Jack, Bev set her sights on becoming a journalist after college, and Wazoo trained her exceptionally well. It wasn't long after graduation that Bev landed at KXLY in Spokane. Bev's arrival was like a rare tornado blowing through the Spokane Valley on a hot summer day. In no time, everyone seemed to know her, and it didn't take long for her media colleagues and practically every City Hall official, including the mayor, to be taken by her professionalism and charm. Normally, TV newsrooms are competitive by their nature, but Bev apparently didn't get that memo. Within weeks of making her debut, her life was filled with Spokane besties from virtually every print and broadcast outlet in town. Not surprisingly, she was also a founding member of Friday 5, a weekly happy hour tradition that would change the Spokane media social scene. Friday 5 gave both print and TV reporters a reason to get together at the Baby Bar to compare notes and complain about their story assignments. But in the process, an extended family began to take shape. As much as Bev loved the mountains and water, Bev made the most of her time in Spokane. She loved to hike with her buddies, feast on onion hula burgers, shop linoleum with her girlfriends, and drive the Palouse in her Fiat with the top down. Those were very special days. The friendships she made in Spokane would last a lifetime. But like many journalism careers, the time came for a change. As the 1980s began, it was time to move back to the West Side and a new career opportunity. KVOS in Bellingham. 40 years later, Bev never lost her love and connection to the many friendships she made in those early years.
Now back on the west side of the Cascades, Bev settled in at KVOS in Bellingham. Bev went on to anchor the daily evening newscast. Additionally, she wrote, produced, and hosted a weekly public affairs program. For her efforts, Bev was awarded State AP Reporter of the Year.
Bev was ultimately promoted to executive producer of news and public affairs. Bev conducted media seminars at Western Washington University and other educational institutions.
Barry Ackerley, then owner of the Seattle Supersonics, also owned several TV stations, including KVOS. He transferred Bev to mid-market KCBA in Salinas, California, where she worked as primary reporter for leading Central California Coast news stories. Bev served as director for news and public affairs. Ratings increased as a result of her efforts.
Wrapping up her on-air work, Bev's now considerable broadcast experience set the stage for her later accomplishments. She joined the Tulalip tribes as a video producer. In this new adventure, Bev became one of the founders of Northwest Indian News. The first video she produced for the tribe earned her an award at the American Indian Film Festival. Over a span of 29 years, Bev worked closely with tribal members to produce and write numerous videos documenting the Tulalip community, capturing its essence and heritage.
Well, I am proud of what my family has done. Makes me feel very small compared to what they did. I am proud of them. I feel blessed to have them as my ancestors. Proud of being a Tulalip. I guess it's great.
Let's go.
When Bev got wind that Ken Behring purchased the Seattle Seahawks and made it all too clear that our much-beloved football team was headed for California, she joined other diehard fans in an effort to save the Hawks. Teaming up with the Save Our Seahawks group, Bev sought to raise public awareness of this intolerable possibility and to raise public pressure to keep the Seahawks in town. Bev once kept Mark Collins, one of the principals of the organization, on the straight and narrow during his attempts to keep the team from moving south. As public relations director for Save Our Seahawks, Bev employed community grassroots action to exert the pressure needed to stop Behring cold in his tracks. Through her impassioned contributions to this group, Bev played an integral part in keeping one of our local treasures in town.
During the same time frame, Bev's love for bears landed her the position of Media Relations Director for the Wildlife Research Institute in the state of Minnesota, an organization concerned with the plight of black bears, which were coming into increasing conflict with people. Bev passionately believed in the research this group was conducting in the pursuit of a happier existence between people and bears. Bev was intent on saving black bears from their predicament. Every year, Bev would make arrangements to make sure the Orcas tradition continued.
Have a great trip, you guys. See you to short.
Here we go, lift off.
She loved the hors d'oeuvre hour.
We're doing all this fussing with all of this. Janice Smith is gone with Grant because Grant's got her way. Hors d'oeuvre hour.
Katie, it's hors d'oeuvre for Katie.
There's oysters and mussels.
Kids, relaxation, and Bev sharing her Orcas experience with friends meant the world to her.
When camping became difficult, the Blue Moon Cabin was close by. Around 1994, Bev moved back to West Seattle, first to 2721, then to 2715 39th Street. Most importantly, to be close to her dad and her new stepmom, Lilabelle.
Bev was a keeper of pictures. Here are her best.
Bev enjoyed communicating with her friends through her beagles. Katie and Kaya kept Bev in good humor. And more importantly, they were a constant comfort to her. Bev was really close to Dad. He and Lilabelle lived long lives, in part because of Bev's unfailing support. Bev left us far too soon.